Hello and welcome to Aviation Statistics and our new course this term. So first, I just wanted to introduce myself, and I will do that via my website, but also go over our virtual classroom. So each week I will try to post this before Tuesday. I just got access to the class, so this might be a little late in posting, but hopefully not too late. And just kind of get you acclimated to our course and to myself. So let's start with our modules here. And here you will see our week 1 resources where we're talking about data, statistics, and graphical displays or visualizations, as I like to note. So if we start with our week 1 reading, we have chapter 1 of data and statistics, one of my favorite topics. And I will show you all of the publications that I have and the statistical methods that I use and all that great stuff. So here you have some videos to help you along as well. So you have like your lesson 1 and qualitative and quantitative data analysis, and then how to graph data. And you can just select on each of these videos and post them. So hopefully they are helpful to you. And if we have time in this virtual classroom, then I will go ahead and kind of show some of those. So moving on here, we have our PowerPoint, which this is what I'm going to download now and pretty much go over for our first video virtual classroom, but we will keep going for now so we can see that. Then we have our frequency table, and so here you'll see that. And let me just go back into our items here. So these are all supplemental materials, your frequency tables, your measure of center, and your getting started or Excel tutorials. So the next thing I want to do is, obviously this video will be here under our week 1 virtual classroom. And then basically there will be several multiple choice questions attached to this video to help you along. But let me go over our assignments for this week, and then time permitting, we'll go over the week 1 presentation, and then we will go over some of the lecture videos. So several of you have already responded to the introducing of yourself, right? And so basically you kind of told me who you are, a little bit about your background, your professional and or future career choices, and what you hope to gain from this course. Then next, hopefully you've had a chance to look at our course syllabus and our calendar, and then obviously get access to our textbook for the course. And then the last step is to discuss what time you would designate as sort of your study time for our course. And I know for several of you that is weekends and evenings, and that is absolutely okay. And then you just want to get to know other students by responding to their posts. So with that said, let me introduce myself via my webpage. So if you go to drvpaz.com, that is my webpage, and I am an accounting professor. And prior to that, let me click on this printable bio here. You'll hopefully see, hopefully I still look like this now. And basically these are my certifications. So I am currently a professor of accounting and information technology. And I am also the CTE, which is the Center for Teaching Excellence, the co-director of online learning and technology. Prior to my transition to academia full-time in the end of 2014, around August, I was a chief financial officer. So I am a CPA in the state of Pennsylvania. I am currently living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I am also a CPA in Florida. Prior to my move to Pennsylvania in 2014, I was living in the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area of Florida. I am a CITP, Certified Information Technology Professional. I am also a CFF, Certified in Financial Forensics, and I am a CGMA, a Certified Global Management Accountant. So all of my certifications are active, and I do anywhere from 80 to 120 hours a year of continuing professional education to get those certifications active. Then here you see all of my research interests. My dissertation was in CEO compensation and earnings quality. I teach fraud and forensic accounting, so I have a research interest in fraud and COSO, and in gamification and classroom technologies and AIS, accounting information systems. So you see all of that here. Obviously, I am working in higher education now, but prior to that, I worked in industry and public accounting. I worked with Arthur Andersen, and I was there in 2002 when Enron hit. And then I've worked in manufacturing, franchise, and service industries. And these are all of my educational background. I went to school at FIU, Florida International University, where I have a bachelor's of accounting and management. And I also earned my master's of accounting information systems from them as well. And then I have a doctorate of business administration with a concentration in accounting from Nova Southeastern University. And then when I shifted to academia, I also was earning certain certificates such as teaching online and instructional practice through the Penn State World Campus. And this is all of my contact information. Feel free. This is my cell phone number. You can text me. You can always email me at our school's email address, or you can email me here as well. And you can always schedule appointments on my website as well. So all of my publications are here, and you'll see all of my published works are either on Google Scholar, ORCID, or ResearchGate, and then anything that I've published, I've put out here. So I've had several publications, and these are my books that I've worked with in 2021, and then anything that I've published, I keep here, as you can see, by year. This was my very first book that I worked with Larry Crumley, who is a very well-known forensic accountant. And anything that I've published, this was my first solo publication all on my own, which was very exciting, in 2017. And then just all of my published works are here, as you can see. And that's my dissertation when I graduated in 2012. And prior to that, I had a few publications with my professors. And then here you see all of my social media outlets, and I will feel free to connect if you want to. Happy to help you in any way that I can. So let's go back up and then move on to courses. So these are all of the courses that I've created and developed. And if there's anything that you see here that might relate to our course, they're all free. All you have to do is just go right in, and then you'll see certain pieces. I would say for our course with aviation statistics, you might find this Excel workshop course to be helpful. So if you click here, you will see most of my courses are organized in this fashion, where you see like these boxes where I try to tell you what to do. So formulas are probably something that we will be using extensively throughout our course, so that might be helpful. So if you click on Access Lesson, it takes you directly to the lesson, and it kind of shows you all of the formulas here, and it kind of just guides you through how to create formulas in Excel. So again, that's under the Excel workshop. So if you go under Courses, and down here, Excel workshop and APA 7th, I would say those are probably two of the more highly accessible courses that most of my students access via my website. So that is that course here. And then if we scroll down, you'll see I have some formulas and reading materials and some activities and data files and practice quizzes. And typically most all of my website has all of my links to all of my social media avenues, so we can connect that way. And it also always has my contact information for you as well. So that is the Excel course that might be helpful. And if we scroll down and we access the APA 7th course, that is another course that I feel that students, when you have any type of written assignments, those might be helpful as well. So in that course, for example, we have possibly the body of the paper, which I'll go on to that one. And you'll see here, I kind of just detail if you have to write something. APA 7th is the kind of citation style that is used most unanimously in business courses. So you'll see here the level headings, and then I do have a sample APA format here as well. And again, all of my contact information. So I would say if we go back to courses under APA 7th, you'll see all of that information here and how to use in-text citations, and feel free to refer to these as you need to. As you can see here, an example, and then you could see an example otherwise. And then direct quotations, always make sure you include a P period after that. And then if you include, Chang above, then you, at the end of the direct quote, you would have your P period. And so just all the different ways in which you can cite. So I've had students reach out and tell me this has always been really helpful. So that's why I created this here for you all. So that is under courses. Then under videos, a lot of these virtual classroom videos I post on my YouTube channel. So this is what I highly recommend, that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It links to my website as well. And you see all of my certifications here. And then you see all of my uploads. I have a lot of information on reasoning with data. And then you see all of my playlists. And if you click on playlists, you'll see like all the videos like personal income tax planning, financial analysis, business, research methods. This might also be a helpful playlist for you. Then you'll see I teach at the PhD level. Business analytics is another possible playlist. And what I try to do in my YouTube channel is show you everything here, but then I also have accounting information systems, forensic accounting, auditing, financial and corporate finance, intermediate accounting. I just try to put as many playlists as I can on my YouTube channel. And then if you just click under videos, it shows you all of my videos, and you see here I have the role of data and predictive analytics in business. And then it's just a wealth of information. And so anything and everything that I do, I try to put on my YouTube channel. So I would highly recommend that you check it out, and definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I try to post content when I'm teaching, and I try to do that every week. So hopefully that is helpful. So here we are right under videos, and then access my YouTube channel. And then I have a bunch of videos here as well. So hopefully that is helpful to you. Then under appointments, typically at CAU, you guys are pretty reliant, so you don't really need me, but I am on Eastern Standard Time, so I am not on Pacific Time. But if we do meet via Zoom, this is the Zoom link that we will use, and you can see it's my cell phone number. And so basically, if you want to schedule time directly on my calendar, all you have to do is just book an appointment, and then you'll see that here. And for example, today is the 16th, so my next appointment is available on Friday. I'm obviously all booked up on Thursday and Saturday. I usually try to have evening hours later on, but then if you click on the time and you click next, you would enter your first name and last name. For your email, you would want to enter your CAU email and the course. I teach a few courses and I teach throughout. So if you can let me know the class that you're in, that would be helpful. Always give me your phone number in case I am running a little late. Then I usually try to give you, I usually try to let you know that, and then add your message, and in your message include your class. Like I am in AER 1, whatever our class number is. Let's see, AER 345. So you want to do that. Where did I go? Right here, sorry. And kind of include that there, and any messages that you have, and typically we would be meeting either by telephone or by Zoom. And if you have additional questions, once you click book it here, then basically I get an email and it goes directly on my calendar, and then I add you to the calendar invite to let you know that, how we're meeting. And if it is a calendar invite, if we're meeting via Zoom, all the Zoom information would be there. But if you see that you're running a couple of minutes late, I typically try to email you before I call, because I know, juggling all these things is kind of crazy most of the time. So I try to be a little understanding of that. So that's under appointments. Accounting teaching tools is usually for other professors. So I just try to share everything that I do out here. And I won an award for this infographic template. And I published an article on these movie clips, and these are some flashcards. So I just try to share everything on here. And that is what accounting teaching tools is. And then under events, that is anywhere that I've attended. So the last conference I went to was in 2021 that I presented. I have attended conferences this year, but I haven't yet presented, but everything is here. And if you just click on any one of these and you click on presentation files, it takes you directly to those files, and it takes you to everything that I've presented in any of these conferences here. And then if we come back here, we were under events. So if we go to news here, it's just anything that I've helped contribute, or if you want to email me, you can always email me through here as well. And any contributions that I have made. I am a member of the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, and I do a lot with them. And I've made article contributions to Roger CPA, and as you can see, quite a bit to the AICPA. And then this is the Innovations Teaching Award that I won in 2018, and all of the press release associated with that. And just anything that I've kind of done, like podcasts and blended classrooms and just different information, I've included all in here under our news. And then my blog is basically, if you subscribe to my website, which is free, then I try to add a bunch of news. So I am also a member of the Pennsylvania Institute of Certified Public Accountants here. And I basically, at anything that I do, I try to add on here as my blog. And then resources and links is the last place where I try to keep a listing here of all of the resources that students might need. They are heavily geared towards accounting or statistics or data analytics, but they're all here. And so I tried to list all of them for you, all of the organizations that you'll need. And then I would say the list of accounting websites and accounting terms, those are the last two items. And if you click on here, it also links to a fellow colleague, Dr. Smith, and all of the websites that he has linked. And then if you scroll down and you click here, Marysville University reached out and wanted me to add their information to my website. And I was happy to do that because it had quite a few terms that, like gap right here, that I loved. So those are all of the resources that I have out there for you, and a little bit about me. And if you go to my website and you click here, you'll see Dr. Paz's bio. And let me make sure. Oh, it doesn't like that. Okay, there we go. Sorry, it doesn't like it when I do that. If you just type right here, Dr. Paz's bio, you'll get a bunch of websites that also have my bio. So hopefully that is helpful to you. I'm trying to eliminate this. Let's see. All right. I think it's working. It always does this, and I don't know why, but I'm trying to get out of that. There we go. I think I did it now. Great. Okay. So what I would like to do, oh, no, come back here. To do now is continue on into our module 1 and continue to kind of debrief you. So we went over our day 1 check-in, and then let's go over our graded discussion. So you are required to at least make 3 substantive posts in your discussion. So your initial response of at least 150 words is due on Wednesdays usually, and your responses to at least 2 other initial response posts are due by Sunday. And here quality is the goal, not quantity. So the expectation is that you will provide an insightful, well-crafted, substantive response that exhibits proper spelling, grammar, and citations if necessary. Just meeting a word count will not ensure an A grade. You want to review the writing resources page for guidance on completing any type of writing assignments. You may also want to visit my APA course, like I just mentioned as well. So step 1 is you want to post an initial response to the following prompt. And if appropriate, and if you have personal experiences, I welcome them into your response. So here you want to discuss a concept or activity that you had a challenge with in week 1. If you did not have any issues, fabulous. Then discuss something from week 1 that you believe will be relevant in your future career. So you don't necessarily need to have an issue, but if you do, I'd love to hear about it. So hopefully I can provide you with supplemental resources and help you along. But if not, that's great too. Then just tell us something that you believe will help you in your future career. Maybe give us some insights into what your future career would be. Then for step 2 is you want to read other students' initial post and make at least 2 substantive response posts by the due date indicated, which is Sunday of the week. So you want to respond to at least 2 posts where you're either adding clarification to what they've mentioned, or you're asking questions, maybe a supplemental questions to what they have, or you're adding constructively to the discussions. So in this case, you just don't want to agree, but you want to add to that agreement, or if you disagree, that's absolutely acceptable too. Then you just want to add to that. So your responses could be a combination of comments to your classmates or to me as your instructor. And if there is a difference of opinion, that debate that issues professionally and provides examples to support your position are always welcome. So we want to make sure we do that. So again, you want your initial post by Wednesday with at least 2 response posts by Sunday of week 1. So coming back here, so now that we've covered these 2 items, and this virtual classroom task will be here. So again, as this video is running, you will get certain pieces of information that I will add, and it will be 3 to 5 multiple choice questions asking you based on the video. So what we're going to do next is go over for the remaining time the data, your assignment, which is data and statistics. So you're going to complete supplemental exercises 3, 9, and 24 at the end of chapter 1. And you're going to use Excel. So Microsoft Excel with each exercise on a separate worksheet. So each exercise has to be labeled. So it would be supplemental. Maybe you'll do SE3, SE9, SE24 at the end of the chapter. And then so you're going to have a worksheet, a workbook, and you're going to have a sheet with each of these exercises. So I expect to see a workbook, and I expect to see a workbook with at least 3 worksheets. So maybe you'll do SE1-3 for supplemental exercise 1-3, SE 1-9, and SE 1-24. So you want to, and so that would mean that each of your exercises are appropriately labeled at the top of the worksheet and the name at the bottom of the worksheet. So in addition to the calculations, provide the questions and answers for each of these individual worksheets. Okay. So, and this is due by Sunday of week 1 as well. Perfect. So let me see if I can come back here without getting her all upset at me, because every time I click on these. Let's go here into our workbook and look at these exercises briefly. see if she'll let me do that relatively quickly, we hope. So accept the cookies, and let's go here under data and statistics as we see here. And so all of the contents that we have. And so then we see, and Bloomberg Business Week is actually one of my favorite magazines. So that is something that you'll see here, and you'll see just a bunch of statistics and how we use statistics in marketing with the Nielsen Company, and how we use it in information systems and economics, two of my other favorite topics. And then we talk about data, which is facts and figures that are collected, analyzed, and summarized for presentation and interpretations. And we talk about a data set and elements and variables and all sorts of, this is so much fun. Then we have data files on the nations, as we see here. And then we talk about categorical and quantitative data. And we talk about time series data, which is what I used very extensively, as you can see here, time series data. I use that quite extensively as in my role as a CFO. So you'll see that. And we talk about the US average price per gallon for gasoline, which is a very significant topic nowadays, as you can see in the news. And so we have that bit of information. And then we talk about existing data sources and observational studies. And we talk about data.gov, which is all of the data that the government gives us. And we talk about experiments, which is what I tend to do exclusively to publish my manuscripts. And then we have time and cost issues and data acquisition errors. When we are acquiring data, we can make mistakes. And descriptive statistics, which is one of the most common statistical outputs that we see not only in research but in business as well. And we have different forms here. As you can see, a bar chart, and then we have a histogram here of per capita GDP, gross domestic product. And then we have statistical inference, which we're drawing a sample, which is a subset of the population, and the population is the set of all elements that we're looking at. And that's how we draw our statistical inferences here. And then here we have just additional data sources. And here's our statistical analysis using Microsoft Excel, one of my favorite tools. So we have data sets and Excel worksheets, as you can see here. And so that is always fun. And hopefully you're going to be doing some of that in your assignment. And we have a data file here as well. And then we have using Excel for your statistical inference. And this will be helpful for your first assignment. And so we just have the median and the average as two of the formulas that we're looking at, as you can see here. And then we have our analytics, and we have descriptive and predictive analytics, whereas descriptive analytics, we're describing what happened in the past, and predictive analytics, we're hoping to use that past data to predict the future or to assess the impact of one variable on another. And so that is what we're talking about when we're talking about these analytics. And one of my favorite topics is big data and data mining. And so if you have large, complex data, that's usually referred to as big data because it has a lot of the 3 or the 4 V's, as we like to say. So volume, velocity, variety, and veracity. And so then we have data warehousing, which is our ability to capture and store and maintain that data. And then data mining are the methods that we use to develop useful decision information or decision-making information from these huge and large data sets. And so then we have ethical guidelines when we're using our statistical practices in business to try to draw these inferences like we just mentioned. And then we have our summary here and our glossary of terms, which I think will come in very handy for you here. And then we have our supplemental exercises. And if we go back to our module here, and if we go back into our assignment here, we see 3, 9, and 24. So for number 3, you're going to refer to table 1-6. So you're going to take that table and make sure you pop that into Excel. And then you're going to do that average cost of the tablets using the formula equals average and then the data set. And then you're going to compare the average cost of the tablet with a Windows operating system to the average cost of the tablets that have an Android operating system. So in this case, you're going to separate the two of them into 2 different data sets, Windows and Android, and then get the average. And then what percent of the tablets use a CPU manufactured by TIO-MAP, and what percentage of tablets use an Android operating system. And remember, to get a percentage, you're going to take equals the total number and divide it by the total number in the population. So that is number 3. Moving on to number 9, let's move on to that one. We have college-educated workers. So based on the data from the U.S. Census Bureau, a Pew Research study showed that the percentage of employed individuals that were ages 25 to 29 who are college-educated is at an all-time high. So the study showed that the percentage of employed individuals ages 25 to 29 with at least a bachelor's degree in 2016 was 40%. So in the year 2000, the percentage was 32%. In 1985, it was 25%, and in 1964, it was only 16%. And all of this information came from the Pew Research website. So what is the population being studied in each of the 4 years in which Pew has data? So what is their entire population? And then what question was posed to each respondent? So for part B, you would list each of the questions that were posed. So for example, it showed the percentage of employed individuals ages 25 to 29 who are college educated is, if you are ages 25 to 29, please answer the question, are you college educated? And then do the responses to the question provide categorical or quantitative data? So interesting to see your take on that. And then the last piece of your assignment for this week is number 24. So let's get to that so we can try to answer that for you. And we're on 22, and here is 24, midterm grades, one of my favorites. So a sample of midterm grades for 5 students showed the following results here. So we have a 72, a 65, an 82, a 90, and a 76. So which of the following statements are correct and which should be challenged as being too generalized? So the average midterm grade for the sample of 5 students is 77. So in your Excel worksheet here, you would enter these numbers and calculate an average. And if it gives you 77, then you would agree with the statement. But if you get a different response, you would disagree with the statement. And then the average midterm grade for all students who took the exam is 77. And here it tells us that we have a sample of the midterm grade. So we don't have the population. So this is going to be a difficult statement to prove. And an estimate of the average midterm grade for all students who took the exam is 77. But you would need to know all of the actual students and their grades to see if that statement is true. And then more than half of the students who took the exam will score between a 70 and an 85. Since I have only given you the sample 5 students here, I have not given you the population of students. That might be too generalized to keep that going. So if 5 other students are included in the sample, the grades will be between 65 and 90. And again, I've only given you 5 students here. So hopefully this has helped you with our assignments here. Let me come back into the module and just briefly review. You're reading chapter 1, and here's a bunch of Excel videos, and here is our PowerPoint for chapter 1. These are supplemental materials provided to you, the frequency table, a measure of center, and how to get started with the Excel tutorials that will help you for your week 1 assignment where you're answering those 3 problems that we just went over. Hopefully most of you have completed your day 1 check-in, but if you have not, just go ahead and do so that you can get graded. And then your week 1 discussion as well. So I hope you've enjoyed our first virtual classroom, and I look forward to your responses. Thanks for watching.